I'm a firm believer that regardless of if you believe in intentionally manifesting or not, it's always happening whether you like it or not. You're currently manifesting your life through the actions and the thoughts, emotions, everything that you're doing on a daily basis. So regardless of if you consider yourself someone who practices manifestation and trying to intentionally manifest certain things in your life, you're doing it. You're doing it. Hey guys, it's your girl Sakina of My Brown Sparkles, and I am coming back to you guys with another video. This one is definitely more on the spiritual side of things. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Sakina, your eco-friendly hostess with the mostest. I like to talk about all things wellness, sustainability, and I really encourage people to live their most eco-friendly life, eco-luxurious life, I should say, in the most sustainable way possible. And in today's video, we're going to talk about something that I have seen all over YouTube so many times that I just really want to address this because I recently had an epiphany on this experience and I want to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I was going to clip this microphone on my top, but it just makes it fold in just the most unflattering way. So I'm not going to do that for the video. That's why I'm holding the microphone. I'm not trying to be like everyone else. There's a reason. If you hear anything in the background, my sweet baby Coco, sweet little baby, she's finally laying down. Sometimes she likes to get up and jump around and get in the way and bite things that she's not supposed to be biting. So that's what's going on over here in this corner. And lastly, hello to all the new subscribers. I have had such an increase in subscribers, and I think it's all because I've started talking about my healing journey to restore my dysregulated nervous system, and I'm sharing everything that I'm learning about my nervous system and healing modalities that I'm using and just the entire process. And I have so much more to come regarding that topic for you guys. So I appreciate the new followers, the new subscribers, I should say. This is not Instagram. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed today's video as well. If you have not already done so, feel free at any time when you feel like, oh, I want more of this content, give me a like. That's how I know that you're really liking this content and I can start to create more videos down this path, because I do have a lot of videos, or not videos, but content experience with this sort of stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video. However, I'm always a little hesitant to share some of the things because it's a little bit personal and I don't want to put all of my life out there on the interweb. I like to keep some things sacred, but there are some things that I definitely think would be really cool to share and that could provide insight for a lot of people who are into manifesting and spirituality and all of that. So today we're going to be talking about manifesting. And if you're new to my channel, I identify as Christian. However, I know there's a negative connotation with manifestation, and I want to clear the air with that first off. In today's video, you are going to learn my personal experience on what it feels like to be manifested by somebody. Now, if you are someone who's obsessed with manifesting your SP or even your twin flame, then you're going to really like this video. I have experience with both, and in today's video, we're just going to be talking about being manifested as an SP. So someone, the perspective of someone who has been manifested by somebody and what it feels like. And the purpose behind this video is not only to give you my testimony and my experience, but also kind of shed light on how weird it can be, how really awkward it could be if you're trying to manifest a specific person and trying to go against their free will. That word free will is the key component here. So let's go ahead and get into it because I already know that you want to know. So let's go ahead and get into it. So recently I came to the realization that I was manifested into someone's reality, and it came upon me very slowly. It wasn't something that I initially knew, but things have been heating up recently, and the signs and the pressure have kind of built a lot until I was like realizing, wait a minute, I know what's happening. I have a gift of clairaudience. If you're new to my channel, you probably don't know this, but regulars, people who watch my videos, I've talked about it a lot. Check it out. I'll drop a link in the description box if you're interested in learning about how I became clairaudient. But basically, clairaudience is when you receive messages, auditory messages, you hear voices, things like that. And it gives you guidance. Sometimes it gives you it's like a prediction of what something that's going to happen in the near future. Is things like that, and I have that ability. So I started getting messages that made me realize, okay, this is happening to me. I am not creating this. Something is happening to me because I am in my receptive feminine energy, and I am drawing this in like a magnet. But I'm not necessarily calling in this specific person, but this person is calling me in or trying to impress their energy onto me. And so we're going to talk about how I came to this realization. There's also a movie reference that was given to me in the spirit through my gift of clairaudience that I want to talk to you guys about. And then we're going to talk about just the different side effects, what it feels like to be someone's SP, how I personally feel about it. And then, so like a month or so ago, maybe a month and a half ago, in my dreams or in my sleep state, which is when I get the most messages. I get the most messages right before I get into a deep sleep. Messages come through. And Spirit told me Inception. Now, if you're familiar with the movie Inception, that is a movie, lead actor is Leonardo DiCaprio. It also has that really, really hot actor. Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. I'll put his picture up there, but you know him. It has a lot of good actors in the movie. But the premise of the movie is these agents go and they create these dreams. They create dreams, these realities, and then they drop people into those dreams. They drop that dream into someone's consciousness so that when they all go into this sleep state, they're all living within that same dream world that someone else has designed. Like
now, in a dream, our mind continuously does this. We create and perceive our world simultaneously, and our mind does this so well that we don't even know what's happening.
It's designed, like they are like architects. They can design these dreams to get into someone's mind, to lock into someone's mind and find out what it is that they're looking for, what it is that they are hiding, that kind of thing, so that they can stop it, steal it, whatever it is. And so Spirit guided me to tell me that something similar was happening to me with all these different consciousnesses that I was connected to. Now, there's the greater consciousness, right? But then the people that you're connected to, whether it be your family, your friends, basically your social network, you're connected to their consciousnesses as well. And because we are all the lead actor in our own movie, they have a role for you in their life. They have a role for you in their life. They've already created, some of them, not everybody, some people have already created and designed in their mind what they want you to do, what they want for you in your life, even though it goes against your free will. So that is what I was learning. Someone had created this dream in which they wanted me to be behaving in a certain way, and they wanted me to be doing a certain thing, which was against what I actually wanted to do. And I've been fighting for this. It's kind of like it's a form of spiritual warfare, because it's not something that is consciously said to you. It's not that they're telling me, oh, I want you to do this. It's subconscious. There is a Bible verse that talks about, what is done in darkness will become to light. And so the subconscious is the dark, and the conscious, what we see in the 3D world is, or what's acted out by people, is the light. And so people have created this idea of you, what they want you to be, who they think you can be. They've created your entire life for you in their minds. They've already placed you into a box. And when you go against that, it triggers them because you're not behaving in the way that they want you to behave. You're not behaving in the way that they perceive that you should be behaving based on the life story that they've created for you in their world. And so that's what was placed into my spirit, what was downloaded to me about Inception, that they had deposited all their different dreams in me. And basically my job is to wake up from these dreams, realize who is doing what they're trying to do, and enforce my power to create the dream life that I want for myself. So now that I've given you a little bit of background about the movie Inception and about my gift of clairaudience and how I'm finding all of this out, let's get into the signs that I was getting from the universe about what was happening and what was happening between me and this person. So this particular person, I'm not going to tell you how I know him. I'm not going to tell you how we're connected, but I just know that I met him months ago. And my first thought was, oh, he's an attractive guy. Now, when I say attractive, I wasn't saying that I'm attracted to him. I'm just saying he's not a bad looking guy. I think that about a lot of people. Does not mean that I want them. Does not mean that I'm interested in them. But I, as a woman, as a human who can perceive someone's attractiveness, I can see that someone is not a bad looking person. But upon closer inspection, I was repelled by a few things about this person that to me are just I cannot overlook these things. And so I don't have any kind of physical attraction to this person. Now, the personality of this person, not bad. I don't think it's bad. I think we have actually a lot of things in common. As I've gotten to know this person, we have quite a few things in common. Does it make me attracted to him? No, it doesn't, because that's not what attracts me to a man. But anyway, so that's always been in the back of my mind, And recently, especially I think it's because it's fall and this is the natural order of like nature. This is the time when we start to slow down. This is cuffing season, all that. And I've started to feel this pressure. Like I literally have started to feel this pressure almost as if I couldn't breathe. And I felt like I was sharing air with someone. And all of a sudden that person's name started popping up everywhere. And I was like, no, every time the thought of that person kept popping up into my brain as well. And it wasn't me wanting to think about them. It was like it was thinking me, like it was coming into my consciousness. It was almost as if the universe was saying, this person, this person, this person, this is the one, this is the one. But it wasn't like God was saying, this is the one for you. It was like it was being placed. It was almost like it was trying to like force it on me, because I personally believe that when you meet the right person, it's going to be a mutual thing. It's not going to be something that's going to be forced upon you. I think God, I don't think this was God at all. I think this was the universe orchestrating things the way that it does, a law of attraction. I think the universe is going to pull people together who would make a good match based on certain things and criteria, but it has to be mutual. It has to be something that both people are choosing. And I wasn't choosing this person. I haven't chosen this person. Regardless of how many times this person's name pops up in my head, how many times I see it, and it's not a common name. That's the thing. This person's name is not common. You're not going to force me to be with someone that I'm not interested in. Now, there's another thing that I realized whose story I was in. I think it was possibly multiple people's dream, because I started hearing messages and voices, and this voice was not God's voice. This voice was someone else's voice saying, see, this is literally what I heard, and don't laugh, but see, I told you it was sexy. It's almost as if like every time I wanted to think about my future, this person's name or something like whatever would pop into my mind, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stop visualizing. I'm gonna stop all of that. I'm just gonna be present and enjoy my life now. I'm not interested in this person at all, but I'm now aware that this is what is trying to tether us together, and this is being impressed upon me. Now, another reason I think that I was being manifested is because this person recently mentioned something about marriage, about wanting to celebrate being married someday. And it's not common for guys to talk about their desire to be married. But I do remember that he mentioned something about wanting to be married. And I was like, good for you, dude. I mean, I don't consider this person a friend, anything like that. But I remember that and I clocked it. Because, I mean, obviously, if someone's talking about, I want people to, I want y'all to celebrate me being married, that means marriage is important to them. That means that they're looking. That means that their eyes are open, And I sensed all the pressure. I felt like this orchestration, almost as if like we're being forced together. I've been trying to avoid eye contact, any body language that would say I'm interested in you or you have a green light, because I'm not, but I'm very, very sensitive to it. Another thing that made me realize that I was being manifested was this person triggered me. It was out of the blue. Their behavior changed one day, and it kind of triggered me because it triggered a wound in me that I did not realize I still had, or that it was like a wound at all. But it was an abandonment wound that I have been working on healing, and this person triggered it. And I remember in my mind, I started to spiral and just have all these negative thoughts. And I was like, you know what? Why the hell did that bother me so much? Like, I don't really care. And I know, and this is what I believe about your triggers and people in particular. If a person's able to trigger you, they can control you. They can trigger you into an emotional reaction. They can control you. And what I realized in that moment was like, oh, this is a test. This is a test for me to see if I really have control over myself, or if I'm going to allow this person who triggered me to control me. And to, like, a lot of men play these kind of games too, especially if they like you. They try to manipulate a woman's emotions. And so I realized that I was like, this is an opportunity for me to regain my power and, not fall for the trick. So of course, your girl, she stayed very calm. I regained my center, didn't react. I let it all go, and eventually it all worked out. However, I did learn, like, I was like, okay, so the matrix in general, the universe, everything around me has been trying to push me to this guy and then one other guy who I actually did express mental interest in my mind. However, I'm very realistic in the sense that I've healed all those little girl fantasies about relationships and romance. I don't fantasize about men, anything like that. I'm very real and upfront. It's very black and white with me. What are you coming to the table with? How are you going to treat me? All that. I don't create this fantasy in this grandiose vision of our life together with a stranger that I don't even know, or someone that I've barely just met. So nothing has really happened or progressed, but these are the two options that have been pressed up on me. One was one that I was actually interested in, and I mentally was like, oh, I do think he's cute and I am attracted to this person. And I thought, and I feel like the universe has been showing me that it could be a match. Could be. The other one, I'm not interested at all, but the universe keeps pushing to me. And some of you might be saying, well, maybe this is God's way of saying this is your husband. This is your husband. I will say I did hear kingdom spouse in my mind. It was a download that I got. However, the kingdom spouse is not in the Bible. That's some shit that they made up on YouTube. And that's one of my ways to discern the true voice of God, because the devil, the trickster, will try to trick you. He will try to pretend. He will try to use things that will get you hooked, get you trapped, all that. Kingdom spouse is never mentioned in the Bible. So all you people who believe in kingdom spouse, all that kind of stuff, do you? I don't. I just don't. So I don't follow that whole train of thought. I was like, oh yeah, when I heard kingdom spouse, I was like, yeah, whatever, that's not in the Bible. So that's not God's voice, because I know how to discern the voice of God, and God knows how to speak to me through verses in the Bible. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll confirm for sure whose voice this is, because I'll get voices from different people, different consciousnesses. And I know that they're not all from God, so I have to be mindful of that. My sheep know my voice. My sheep know my voice. Remember that. Now, you might be wondering, why am I sharing this video? I'm sharing this video because I think there's a ton of people who are obsessed with trying to manifest a specific person. And I want y'all to get this perspective of what that feels like from someone who has been attempted to be manifested, and how it feels so uncomfortable. And it was also a wake up call for me, because I've done this too. I've been infatuated with someone. I've experienced limerence for someone, and now that I'm on the receiving end of it, it's so unpleasant. It's such a turn off. And you know that word that the new kids are saying, the ick. It definitely gives you the ick if you're on the receiving end of it, because it's just like, I don't actually like this person. And then you start to get all these signs, and it's pushed up on you so heavily, like it's like you can't resist it. Like, you even all your hormones, you can feel your hormones pumping, but you still don't really feel anything for them, but you can feel the whole, Lion King's Simba and Nala feeling, but at the same time you don't really feel that way towards them. It's just a whole bunch of confusion going on, right? Like, for real, it's not fun. And one way that I was able to discern whether this is really from me, like, am I really having feelings from this person, is anytime I tried to visualize us being intimate, like just kissing or hugging, like, it gave me the ick and it repelled me. And I was like, yeah, this isn't me. This is something that's being pushed on me, and it wants me to accept it and receive it as the truth and my truth. And it's not consensual. And so, like I said, none of this is playing out in real life, but this is the energy that I'm getting. And I'm very sensitive to energy, guys. So, and when you're manifesting, people are sensitive to energy too. They might not be able to pick up on what's causing it. Like, I'm very spiritually aware, and I've learned about all these different spiritual techniques. So I'm aware that this stuff exists, and you can receive telepathy from people and things like that. I experience it. So, as someone who's experienced these things, and I'm aware and I'm knowledgeable about what's happening, I know that that person might be sending that energy towards me mentally, and I'm picking up on it, and I don't want it. So this just gives you a perspective of someone who's gone through that, because you might be thinking, oh man, they're starting to have feelings for me, but really they're just confused, because their body's telling them one thing, but their mind and all the signs of the universe are telling them another thing. And they're just like, I don't really like this person, but why is this person always showing up? Why are they always around me? Why do we keep running into each other? Why can't I get this person's name out of my head? Like, that's what it's like. And if you don't want that person, if you're not attracted, if the feeling is not mutual, it just becomes a nuisance. And what it felt like for me was like, I have to get out of this box. I need to move around. I need to start mingling and getting other energies into my system, because this one is way too dominant and I'm not liking it and I'm not interested. So I need to move around. I need to get away, open up some space, because it felt like I was being smothered by something that I didn't want to be smothered by. So that's what it feels like when someone is trying to manifest you. It feels smothering. If it's not consensual, it can feel a little crazy, because it's like, I'm so tired of this person's name popping up everywhere. I don't want to see this person. I'm not interested in that person like that. Please stop trying to force us together. And if you're like me, anytime someone tries to force me to do something, I'm going to do the complete opposite. And that's exactly what that person is going to do. If you are familiar with, like, people who talk about twin flames and that journey, a lot of times they'll teach you that the feminine will chase the masculine, sometimes physically and sometimes energetically. And what it does is it pushes them away. And that's exactly what this person was doing. Their energy is too intense. Their mental, whatever thoughts they're having, it's too intense, and it's pushing me away, because I can feel it, because it's coming up. They're popping up in my mind, and I don't even want to think about them. And it's just too much. It's like gross. Like, I'm not even interested in you. So why is this still, like, why do I feel your energy all up in my energy like that? I don't like it. So I'm not doing this to shame anyone. I just want you to know that if you're going to try to manifest an SP and use all these, like, Neville Goddard techniques and how people have to conform and all that, just be mindful that, like, you might get what you want, but they might not technically want you. They might just surrender at some point, because if you're consistent enough and persistent enough, I'm sure they might just surrender to it, because they don't have any other option to, or they don't have any better options. Perfect example comes to mind is Hailey Bieber. I've watched videos about how she was like a super fan, a stan of Justin Bieber, and now she's his wife. But you see how they are in public and how he treats her in public, and it looks as if he's like annoyed with her and he doesn't really like her. And that's kind of how it feels, because I have thought in my head, so what if I just went ahead and like dated this person? He's not a bad person. I am just not attracted to him. He gives me the ick. And as a woman, I listen to my intuition. I don't have any wounds around healthy relationships. I'm very cognizant of what a healthy relationship should feel like. I'm not attracted to bad boys. I'm not attracted to toxic people. But I have a firm belief that there should be a level of physical attraction or openness, and my body and my aura is not open to him, and that's a intuition type thing. That is a protection type thing, and I listen to that. So I'm not going to force something. I'm not going to force myself to have a feeling about someone, even though if he's a good guy on paper. You never know. And there's some things that there were some red flags that I've noticed and experienced that kind of solidified it as a no, and I can't overcome it. I can't overcome them yet. I can't, because they were such turnoffs that it was like, no, we're not doing that. But that is my experience of being manifested. I take it as a blessing because I've been on the other end, and to feel what it feels like to be someone who's having that energy impressed on me, it is such an interesting experience. I'm not mad at this guy. I'm not even embarrassed, because he has potential. He has potential. He's not a bad guy. He has potential. You never know what might happen in the future. Whatever. Not even going to go there. But he has potential. He's not a bad guy, and I'm not embarrassed. I don't think he should be embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed for him. I'm not embarrassed. I'm actually flattered. I'm flattered that I get male attention, that I have, options and things like that. However, it's kind of embarrassing for me, because it's like there used to be this one particular person who I had incredible limerence for. And I can only imagine the energy that I was sending his way on a daily basis all the time. And just like, I can't imagine how much money he made from me sending him energy all the time, because energy is currency, guys. Attention is currency. So if you're obsessed with someone and you're sending them all your energy, that's where all your money is going, because that's energy is what you could be using to make money and to create a life that you actually want to live and can live in real life. So without making this video too long, I think I want to tell y'all that story one day. It's really interesting. But I just wanted to leave y'all on that, because I just was like, wow, so that is what it felt like to be manifested by somebody. Like, I remember our first meeting. He was I could see that he was like very shocked and surprised, like he just received a present. And I was like, yeah, dude, no. In the back of my head, yeah, I do know. And I've maintained those boundaries from day one. But it's such an interesting experience. So go ahead and like the video if you like it. Drop me some comments, like, have y'all been trying to manifest your SP? Has it worked out for you? Have you ever been manifested? Have you ever felt like you've been being manifested by somebody? It's an interesting experience. I personally think that you should err on the side of caution when it comes to that. Maybe kind of put the thought out into the universe if you're interested in somebody, but don't bombard them with energy, because after a while that becomes a lie and you push them away. Maybe I should do a video on how to properly use your energy to call in a specific person without coming off as obsessed or like giving them the ick, because I know how to do that. I've done that successfully, and I know how to pull back my energy as soon as I get that confirmation that that person is not interested. I get confirmations really quickly. Sometimes I'll get it like as a sign. If I send a thought out about a specific person and their possible interest or whatever or anything, I can get a confirmation really quickly through a sign or something like that. Like the universe will communicate with me if it's reciprocated or if it's pushed, if it's not. And I'm not going to go against that. That's embarrassing. not only it's embarrassing if you try to push past that and it's desperate, and I'm not a desperate person anymore. When you are healed and whole, you don't become this desperate person that's chasing. You want to be magnetic, you want to attract people to you, but you also want it to be mutual. So if y'all want that video on how to attract a person without being, how to energetically attract a specific person without giving them the ick, please comment below, because that would be a really good video to share with you guys. But anyways, that is all I have for this video. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.